Hi guys, this is
Heather Mackey from Celebrate Vitamins.
and this is
Coffee
Coffee
Talk.
Talk. Listen, I found her. She's from Celebrate Vitamins. She's also a dietitian,
Yes, ma'am.
and so I grabbed her and I said, "Would you do Coffee Talk with me?" And she said, "Yeah." She said she liked the way I said Coffee Talk. So we're here in Dallas again, and we're going to ask. I'm going to ask her some questions, and one of them we were talking about earlier was why can some of us eat these carbs and just let it? I know that there's lighter foods, but there's got to be a little bit more explanation about
Yeah.
it. And she was just given a great explanation. Go ahead.
So, as you know, we know carbs crunch down and kind of slide through pretty quickly. But the other thing that's important to think about is carbs break down in about 30 to 60 minutes, depending upon if it's complex or a simple carb, meaning is it a white carb or does it have fiber, basically. And if you think about a solid protein, like if you eat a couple ounces of chicken, you're usually feeling really full, like that stuffed. You can feel it, fullness. And that's because protein takes longer for the body to break it down. It's more like 3 to 4 hours of digestion. So that's why you're going to feel a lot fuller and won't be able to eat quite as much of that compared to a crunchy carbohydrate.
I asked the girl last night, I have to cover myself up a little bit, about, the drinking, the before and the after. And we have like little, we have things, people say, well, it's okay if you do it before and after, but it's also okay if you do it, either way. But what do you feel like,
What's my opinion on it? Should you drink?
Should we at least wait 30 minutes? And you hear noise in the background because, we're not by ourselves. Just saying.
So here's my opinion on that. The surgeon I used to work with, Dr. David Vollinger in Charlotte, North Carolina, he strongly believed about no drinking with meals 30 minutes before or until 30 minutes after. I found in talking with a lot of patients, not everyone needed to follow the 30 minutes prior. However, some patients did because they would feel too full from the water and they wouldn't be able to eat the food that they need to be nourished properly. I definitely agree with as minimal as possible during your meal because you have such a small limited space to put food in. You want to make sure it's food. It's the protein, it's the vegetables, it's maybe a little bit of complex carb, a little bit of fruit, something of that nature. So you want to fill that in there. And the other reason is the afterwards even part through the during is the way I described it to patients. It's like a colander, and you take your food and you put it in there and you've chewed it up really well because you've been told chew your food well so it doesn't get stuck. And then if you dump a bunch of water on this food, it's basically going to thin it out even further, and it's going to go through that colander faster. So it's going to leave your stomach sooner, you're going to be hungrier sooner, and you're going to end up eating more frequently throughout the day. So I'm a believer in at least waiting for the after 30. Some patients even need 45 minutes depending upon how full they feel. It just kind of helps you to regulate how much you're going to eat during the mealtime.
What advice would you give us, for people that are maintaining their weight, trying to lose some more weight? I know that movement is very important, but as far as eating, I know the girl last night said, don't stop eating. That's one of the things. But what could you suggest for us to just keep on the right path, but yet continue to lose weight?
Continue to lose.
That's really what we all want.
That's all what we want, right? So I'm a big believer in goal setting, but making them measurable and attainable goals. Don't set yourself up for failure. So if we talk about weight maintenance and continued weight loss, while the number on the scale is not the most important factor, it's a good measure of how we're doing with our progress. So I believe for myself, I'm just trying to maintain. So I always set a plus or minus number. And if I start getting to that upper number, then I want to start maybe thinking and reflecting back, am I being as active as I normally am? What am I doing with my food intake? Am I getting that protein in throughout the day? Am I eating, predominantly vegetables with that protein, or am I kind of backslided a little bit and maybe putting in a little more mac and cheese or something of that nature? So just kind of going back to the basics that you've been taught in the beginning and continually to check in with yourself.
And I think that in reality, the scale should be used just as a tool.
Exactly, it's a tool.
That's all it is. It's not what judges you for success.
Right. Think about when you're talking about success, they say a successful weight loss surgery patient is someone who's lost 50% of their excess body weight. 50%. Now, does everybody hit that number? Not always. And some people far exceed it. But also think about success in terms of quality of life. Are you off the diabetes medication? Are you off that high blood pressure medication? Are you able to walk up a flight of stairs without being out of breath? Maybe you were
And that doesn't count if you have arthritis.
That's
that
right.
doesn't count.
That's right. Maybe you were in a wheelchair prior to surgery because of mobility issues, and now you're out of it. Are you able to get on the floor and play with your grandchildren?
Those
are the things you think about
for success. Yes, yes. So many of us, and I say us because everyone knows my story, but I used to think for so many years, I'm not a success yet because I didn't get to that goal number that was in my head, not even my doctor's head, but my head. And
guess what? That wasn't probably a realistic goal.
No. I don't know. I still want to reach it.
No, I doubt. No. You look great.
Well, thank you. But still, that has always kept me going, though. And I kind of like that because it's my, I still get up and fight for that, So that for me is something for me to keep going.
And there's nothing
but at the
wrong
same
with that.
thing, at the same time, as you said about health, I realized, wow, Rosemary, no more medication.
But your vitamins. You take your vitamins.
Because
shameless plug.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it. Oh, am I going to get free vitamins tonight? Anyway, so you see what I'm saying? That's what you judge success, and everybody is different.
Exactly.
Everybody. Your age, you have to factor your age in. So many people say, no, that's not true. I think it's true.
It is. As you age, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Right.
Muscle mass has to do with metabolism, and if we're better able to maintain our muscle mass, then we're going to keep our metabolism, how fast we burn calories, at a higher rate. So definitely metabolism will slow as we age, but it doesn't mean there's not things we can do to change that.
Exactly, but you have to change as you age.
Exactly.
You have to change that. You're maybe walking instead of running, because I'm not expected. I could.
Your knees maybe can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
The ugly C word.
Constipation. First of all, when we talk about constipation, what would be, what is normal for someone with weight loss surgery?
So it's going to be different for everybody. And what your normal was prior to surgery may change. For example, if you were someone who went once or twice a day prior to weight loss surgery for your bowel movements, that may change to every 3 to 4 days. And it's not generally considered constipation until it's difficult, painful to go, or you haven't gone for 5 to 7 days. At that point is when medically it's typically termed constipation. So for most patients, yes, that might be a factor, but for a lot of them it's just a change in their regularity.
No, you didn't give me that one.
But there's a lot of things that you can do to help with that.
Probiotics.
Definitely probiotics.
There's 2 different kinds, you said.
Well, there's more than 2.
Oh.
You want to look at the strains. Some strains in particular are more so for immune and health, reducing your risk of sickness, and some are more for GI. And typically on the box they'll say what they're for. You can do a quick Google search and see. So you want to make sure you're getting the strain for whatever condition you're trying to help. In this case, constipation. Also making sure that you get your fluid intake. And what do you typically recommend?
I usually say, exercise, fiber, coffee, things like that.
Exercise will
practically
definitely
the
help.
normal.
Fiber,
And dieters tea, I do every
she
once
does
in a while.
that.
Now, I'm not saying that that's something that you should do. I think you should consult your doctor
Exactly.
when it comes to something like that. But
the other thing that can sometimes help as well is essential fatty acids, or more commonly termed omega-3, because a weight loss surgery patient isn't eating the volume of food, and that's a whole other issue. Less volume, you're not going to have as many bowel movements throughout the day. But within that volume, you're not going to get the level of omega-3 that you should get in a normal diet. So sometimes by supplementing with omega-3, and it can be a teaspoon of olive oil a day. It can be taking a supplement. There's lots of ways that we can get that in. Eating walnuts, fattier fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel. Those are great sources of omega-3, and that can kind of help to slide things through, if you will.
wow.
Always fun
All
things
this
to talk about.
great information. I love it. So I'm so glad I pulled you through
Thank
over this
you.
way. She's going to be at the Las Vegas meet and greet. So you
Come see
guys
us.
come see him and then kind of say, hey, I want to talk to you about nutrition.
Happy to help.
So I'll let you plug your
Celebrate Vitamins, www.celebratevitamins.com. We also write a weekly nutrition tip off of our website, and we post it to our Facebook page as well, so you can always get more information there.
So thanks for coming. And this again was Coffee Talk. Bye guys.
Bye.